Hey, you. Hey. So I just wanted to, do like a send off and say like a bye. I did like a send off for Bob Hart Abishala and Big Bang Theory on my podcast, but I've never done for the neighborhood, and not that I don't like the show or anything, it's just because it had not wrapped up or anything, and I did not really see any significance at the time, that I was like, okay, but now it has wrapped up and I said, okay, let me do. And those two shows are my favorite shows, you all know, Bob Hart and Big Bang Theory. So it's a different case, than the neighborhood, but still, it's I've been watching this show for like 8 years. I used to watch it back to back with Bob Hart and Bishara because they were the same schedule. Almost everything was the same viewers, I think, also amount of viewers, the same, almost everything, I don't know if it's Chuck Lorre who does it for them. I know Bill Prady does it for the neighbor, but I know Chuck Lorre does it for Big Bang Theory and Bob Hart. That's why it's my favorite. Same comedy kind of relief and sense, But even this is also similar. This, because of it's longer, I feel this has more funnier scenes than Bob Hart Abishola. But Bob Hart Abishola shows a cultural shock and the cultural thing that makes it more interesting, And you guys know I'm from Nigeria. It's not just that alone, it's just how it shows it and how it blends together. And I love when Blob got slimmer. And I was like, nah, this show has just become my favorite. It was just so good. It always made me smile. And I was always looking forward to it, Bob Hart. And then sometimes the neighborhood, But yeah, the show has finally wrapped. And I won't lie, it was an excellent ending. It made it emotional and funny. And that is one thing I love with Chuck Lorre. You know, it's just, I think it's only the Big Bang Theory that was too emotional at the ending, but it was still funny. That's one thing I love. They try to, any series that's planned for a finale is going to be emotional, because knowing this is the last time you're going to see, apart from annoying Netflix series, but any good series that plans for its finale that people have been going through years and years in the making, it's going to be emotional, even down to reality shows, it's going to be emotional knowing this is the last episode. I remember when they said Vanderpump Rules. The good thing is that when they had told us we had already finished the season. So when they had told us that, oh, Vanderpump Rules is no more coming back, everybody was like, okay, at least that one could be a kind of sense of relief for people, rather than this one, you're watching the final, this is the last time you see these people in this kind of scenery, in this kind of situation. And Chuck Lorre knows how to tell a good story with good comedic relief, with good set, we could he's just a work of art, him and Bill Prady and some very good creators. I'm like, damn, nah, those guys, there's something in them. That's why they are rich like that, because it's just a whole work of art. He's good at that, and seeing this go like this, I was just, I was in my head, I was like, is this the last episode? This feels like the last episode. I didn't even know I had reached 20. That is when you know a show is good. When you still think there's still time. I mean, why you're already in the final episode. That's how you know a show is very good. And, it was the last episode. If I was going to rate this over 10, I'll give it, this last episode, I'll give it a 9.1, not a 9.5. Give it a 9.1, because they really touched on most. Okay, let me say a 9.5, because the way they wrapped it up was satisfying to me. They did not try to include everybody in the end. They just tried to include the main Butler and the Johnsons. Then Maddie and the rest got married at the same time. They did it significantly. So it's just, and the way, and I love a series that is not trying to stretch. They are not just dingling, they are going straight for the kill. And this was a good one. I would always remember it. I would cherish it. It was a good one. You know, I'll give it a 9.5. You know, yeah. I just said let me just come to point. I'll release the shot of the final ending. It's not yet out. I think all these sites will not take their time because it's the last episode, so they don't need to be. There's nothing else to upload after this, so it might not be out for a while on some of these sites. But I'll check again if it's out. If it's out, then I'll release a shot on this. But if it's not out, I'm going to drop this now and edit it. My little edit. I'll drop this and then you know you guys can tell me what you think. It's just, even if the show just dropped, I'm still, that's the thing. That's why I hate following it. One of the reasons, another reason, I think it's a main reason for most people why they don't form emotional connection to people is the act of missing out or missing it. You know, it's that kind of thing. When you feel like, okay, oh, you're not going to see this thing again. It's never going to be the same. That's the end of it for life. And it's just an emotional thing. It's just so emotional. That's why people don't dive into certain things. Yeah, apart from, because I saw one nonsense that Money Heist is coming back. So apart from that nonsense, I'm like, why are they bringing it back? Actually, if it's what I think they want to do, I'm like, why are they bring? They should just let that thing die. This is why Netflix spoils. Instead of them to be planning better shows, they are trying to revive. I don't know what is wrong with this world anyway. Anyway, guys, yeah. So that's it.